Yo guys, what's going on, and welcome to another video from the Football Insiders. Today I'm joined by Rafe, Brian, Eden and Ramel, and in this video we're going to be just quickly discussing the Chelsea situation. Should Frank Lampard have been sacked? Is Tuchel the right appointment, and where will they finish by the end of the season? So, I'm going to start with my opinion. We're going to start with should Lampard have been sacked. Now, I personally think he should have been. I know everyone says we need to give the managers time, I agree with that. But I just think Lampard's been making that many poor decisions recently that he's had 16 months in the job. I just think if you're going to give a manager time, I don't think he's the right manager to give a lot of time to. Now, Rafe, what do you think?
I think I'm not objecting to him being sacked because he has been doing badly, but I think personally he should have gave him to the end of the season because I think the objectives for Chelsea changed too quickly. Because last season it was have a go for top four, but if you don't get it, that's fine. And this season they just chucked 200 mil on him and expect him to challenge for the title, which I just think is completely unrealistic.
That's true. But right now, not even challenging for top four.
I see what you mean, but then you have to look at managers like Solskjaer, who struggled. He led United to the worst start in their history, and now look at him, he's top of the league. Like two or three positive results would put Chelsea right back in the top four if results go their way. So, what do you, Brian, Eden, and Ramel, do you have any views on this?
Personally, I agree with you, Reece. Like they didn't give Lampard enough time, and I feel like they should have given him until the end of the season. And because the league's so tight, especially in the top half between 10th and 4th, around where Chelsea lie, and there's a lot of teams going up and down consistently, such as Liverpool have fell from first to 5th because they're not playing well, and teams are constantly moving, and a couple of results would have pushed them closer to top 4. And I don't think they gave Lampard enough time for his signings to gel in. For him to get the right system to fit in all of his new signings. Although some of them did hit off straight off the bat, like Thiago Silva's made a good impact since he's come in. Players like Werner and Havertz, being so young, they need time to adapt to the league.
What about you, Ramel?
I do agree with what Rafe was saying about like they should have given him more time to the end of the season. But I also think that when you give a manager 200 million and he goes out and scouts players that he wants, I think he should already know where he's going to fit them in the lineup.
My argument was the only player he wanted out of all those was Chilwell. Abramovich apparently sanctions the red. Like, apparently don't want Havertz.
He did really want
Who didn't? Abramovich. Wait. Who didn't want Havertz and Werner?
I think he wanted Werner, but I don't think he wanted Havertz.
No, he wasn't. There's a lot of sources saying he didn't actually want Havertz, but I think Ziyech's been the best non-defensive side.
Yeah, no, Ziyech's been really, really good for them, and that's the thing. Players. I think players like Ziyech was a really good signing for them because he does a lot for them. Ziyech and Chilwell, they play well together because you've got one on the right, one on the left. They do link up. I think Werner playing on the left wing, it's not the best right now. I think Tammy Abraham was good enough, but I think bringing a good striker to compete for that position was good. But they're not playing Werner in the right position. It's just for them right now with Lampard. I think he has kind of almost run out of ideas as to what to do with the team because we're now in January and he's had a long time to get his team to gel. So I do think that they were right to sack him.
I'm gonna say
quickly before we move on. What's your opinion, Brian? Do you think he should have been sacked?
Well, I think there are like two aspects to this. I think results-wise, it was quite harsh to sack him. I feel like two or three good results could have put Chelsea right back. However, there were reports that he had lost the dressing room. When you lose the dressing room in football, it's hard to get back. The players always win, really, no matter who the manager is. Even with Jose Mourinho, the players tend to always win.
One last point is, I think it was a group of Kepa, Rudiger, Marcus Alonso and Kovacic, which turned on him and went behind everyone's back.
I want to quickly say that before we move on. Two of the players there, Kovacic and Rudiger, both starting tonight under Tuchel. Kovacic is getting his first start in a while, and this moves us nicely on to about Tuchel. Was he the right appointment? Looking at we're going to go straight on the lineup we've picked tonight, because for us the Wolves game starting in about 1.5 minutes. So we've got the lineups here. They're playing a 4-2-3-1 system. A back four of Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Thiago Silva and Chilwell, Mendy in goal. Jorginho and Kovacic, the two centre mids, for the first time in a while. Kai Havertz has taken over Mason Mount in his correct position, calm. And Ziyech is on the right wing and Hudson-Odoi is on the left wing, and Giroud is up front. Bench, Werner, Abraham, Pulisic, Mount, James, a lot of big players benched there. What do we think about this?
I saw the lineup before, just before we started recording, and I was surprised that he benched players like Reece James, because he's been a revelation this season. I think up there with the likes of Walker Peters, Matty Cash, he's been one of the best right backs in the league. I think so far he's one of the front runners to take the right back spot. I think he's overtaken Trent now for England. So I was really surprised by him. I'm surprised that he's gone with Giroud, because in previous jobs he doesn't normally play with a target man up top. He normally, like at Dortmund, he had Aubameyang. At PSG, he obviously had Mbappe. Icardi's not really a target man. So I was surprised by the lineup. But does anyone else have any views?
Personally, you said about, we'll get into Eden in a minute, but you said about Reece James, again, being one of the best right backs in the league this season. When you're on about the best right back in the Premier League, he's always up there in the argument. Another player is Mason Mount. He's been Chelsea's best player of the season. He tries every game. I'm really surprised he's been dropped. Also, Tammy Abraham, as you said, he got a hat-trick in the last game. I know it was against Luton, but every time he's played this season, he has performed really well.
I was surprised that Tammy got dropped as well.
Yeah, Eden, what were you going to
say? I'm not 100. I feel like there could have been better managers to bring in, but because of the type of manager Abramovich wanted, German-speaking and able to get the best out of the players he brought in from the Bundesliga. Having Bundesliga experience will definitely be a positive, and the German speaking will obviously also be a plus. But if you look at his record against other managers who are now in the Prem, Klopp, he's played 14 games and got 9 losses. Ancelotti, 6, 2 wins, 2 losses. I can't find Pep, but yeah, he doesn't have the best record against other managers who he should be competing with for top 6, top 4 titles.
Yeah, it's been known that he struggled terribly against Man United. And obviously, I think, my opinion, Tuchel was the best manager they could appoint at this current time.
Yeah.
But I think if they waited till the summer, they could have gotten a better manager. Like, it might have been able to get Nagelsmann out of his. Like, you're never going to get Nagelsmann out of his job mid-season.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Brian or Ramal, do you think Tuchel's the right man to take Chelsea forward?
Well, currently he's the best manager available. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there is Allegri as well, but I just don't see him going to Chelsea. He probably doesn't. He doesn't really play the type of football that you probably want to see with Chelsea.
Yeah, I think that Chelsea are trying to move away from that Italian style.
Yeah.
Of course, they had Conte before. Yeah.
Right. So, where do we think Chelsea's going to finish by the end of this season? We'll go to Ramel.
To be honest, I think that Chelsea will probably finish top 6 just because of the place that they're in now, and Tuchel's going to have to get used to his best lineup. And I do think that you can draw quite a lot of parallels with the players that he's got available at Chelsea to the players that he had in his last job, which was PSG last job, right? Yeah. I think you can draw your parallels with those players and the system which he's going to play. And I think that the players that are playing under him now in this system are going to start playing better, such as Havertz, Werner, stuff like that, if he plays them where he's playing them now. So yeah, top 6.
I'm gonna say again top 6, because you look at the teams above them now. Like, West Ham's 4th at the minute. I think Chelsea by the end of the season will easily edge it above them because of just the depth and the players. Everton, Villa, I think they will edge above these teams by the end of the season, and they'll just scrape. I think they'll get 6th, but I do think they'll get Europe.
I think Chelsea will get. I definitely think Chelsea will get Europe. I personally It depends. They could easily get top four. Obviously, as
Yeah.
we said earlier, 2 wins and they're right back. Like they could even be in top four if results
They're
go
only
their
5
way.
points away from top 4.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously teams have a lot of games in hand on Chelsea. Like if Southampton win theirs, Chelsea go down to 10th. So I can see them getting top 4. I think a realistic target for this season is top 6 and push on next season.
Yeah.
What about Brian and Eden? Do you?
I think if the players aren't able to adapt to a system quick enough, they could finish as low as 8th.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Sort of area. Because if their key players like Pulisic, Werner, and Havertz, even the defence, if they can't like play to Tuchel's style, they're not going to gel easily, and the team will just fall apart. And it will be a similar situation to, I guess you could compare it to Sarri, where they can completely play Sarri ball, but although that did bring them success, if with Tuchel, I don't feel like he has the same sort of like dominance over the dressing room.
I think another point that I forgot was obviously I just remember this. Pulisic obviously worked under Tuchel at Dortmund, and Pulisic.
That's on the screen right now. Because I've obviously got some pictures of slideshows, as you can see, and there's Pulisic as a kid with Flick.
Pulisic obviously hasn't been performing as well last season as he was post lockdown. So I think it will be key for Tuchel to get the best out of his German players and Pulisic, players he would know better than a lot of managers. Brian, do you have any say on this? Where do you think Chelsea will finish?
I think realistically, I think if he gets a good run of form, I think they could be 5th, maybe even 4th. The Chelsea, I don't know where they can finish. If you take Tottenham from pretty much to 6th in rough season, then I think he can do the same. Yeah, I think there are actually more games to play now than there were before, but it just depends on squad plays. If they get the right, the trajectory, good, they could go all the way. Really.
Yeah, exactly. The point is, like, if the squad gels straight away, then it will. I think it will be a boost to Chelsea for players who are struggling, like Werner, which could see them surge up the table.
I'm hoping to see Kovacic get some of his form from last season back as well, starting tonight. But anyway, they're all our points. Lampard, probably 50-50. He was. I can see not sacking him, but I can also understand him being sacked because of the position they're in at the minute. Tuchel, best appointment possible at the moment, and think they'll finish around top 6 at the end of the season. But the Premier League's that tight, we can't really tell. That's going to be it for this video. Our next video is probably going to be we've got a tier list coming up on Sunday, so look forward to that. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.